Welcome to the next movement video in terms of working with pain. Now, the first movement video that we worked on was all about the breath. I want you to keep working with your breath. It is the best and most important tool that you have in terms of everything. All right? It's always there when you need to work on paying attention to when you have a pain sensation, and it is there when we do this next part. Now, I'm kind of skipping ahead to part 6. Depending on where you're at in the videos, this comes in part 6, and we're looking at page 78, and it's the sweet zone for change. Now, I'm not really going to go through the book in terms of how I've been going through it, but I want you to start walking. Now, your walking might be anywhere from 2 minutes to 10 minutes, but I want you to start walking so that you can find your sweet zone. Now, in terms of finding that sweet zone, it has to do with working hard enough and long enough that you start to initiate change, but not working so hard or long that you create a flare-up. Now, this is the challenge when we're dealing with chronic pain, because you can imagine when you look at the book, it's this little pie chart, right? And we're looking for this sweet zone of movement. Now, I want you to stick with walking for now because it's an easy way to get out. You can walk in a mall, you can walk outside your house, depending on the weather. You can walk on a treadmill, at the gym, in the grocery store. But what I want you to do is find your sweet zone. Okay? Now that sweet zone is being able to challenge yourself just enough, but not pushing so hard. And finding in that zone when we're living with pain, that zone is small, and it's really easy sometimes to push and end up on the other side of that flare up. All right. And it's also really easy to end up on the other side of not even challenging yourself. This is something you need to practice. And I do want you to be writing this down in your notebook, because even if you just start at 2 minutes today, that means you head out your door, you set a timer on your watch, you walk for 1 minute, timer goes off, you turn around, you come back. All right? I want you to get into a place where you can challenge yourself enough that you can feel your breathing. Okay? I don't want you to just be walking so slow that you can't tell if you're breathing hard enough. All right? And I want you to be able to walk enough that you feel you're putting in a bit of effort. Now, with the first couple walks that you do, you're going to find that you probably feel really sore. Your body has a reaction. Your nervous system goes, hold on a second. You're doing more than you used to. You're not listening to me. I'm going to make you feel this. We need to know, and you need to look at this big picture of being, no, I only walked for 2 minutes. I might have walked a little faster than usual, but I walked for 2 minutes. I didn't fall on anything. I didn't twist in a weird way. I didn't trip on something. It is not tissue damage. It is tissue adaptation that you're feeling. And this is the biggest part of finding that sweet zone. Okay. When we find that sweet spot, and I'm going to be doing this movement a lot because I need you to find enough challenge that you get into an area your body needs to adapt, but you don't go so far that you set yourself up for a flare-up. Now, when we're looking, again, we have this persistent pain, this hypersensitivity to reaction. Your body's going to be like, oh, no, no, no. So instead of your sweet zone ideally being about here, it's actually here. It's a little smaller, which is why I want you to start slow and work your way up. All right? So you're going to head out for a walk today, ideally, and you're going to go for 5 minutes or 2 minutes. You know what your walk would be. All right. Now, if you're someone who is active, this is going to be one of your challenges because you're used to going out for a 45-minute walk. Now I need you to be able to go out for a walk. I don't want it to be as long because I want you to be able to listen to your body, that whisper edge, and that whisper edge turns you around. Now, this could be frustrating. If you're used to having a solid program where you go out and you walk for 45 minutes, even if you come back home and you're in pain, I need you to cut it back a little bit. Okay. I want you to end up in this sweet zone where you can come back and you might feel it, but it's not a flare up. Okay. I hope that makes sense. You're going to write these things down. If you want to use the Go Get Fit app, that is a perfect app to use. That way I get to see your progress every week and I can give you feedback on the app without us having to use our one-on-one session. All right. So if you're going to use that Go Get Fit app, the bonus of using that app is the fact that you're tracking how long you're walking. That's obvious, right? You put in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is, but you also track your mood and your effort. And I want you to start noticing after about a month of doing this, that as your mood increases, your effort can increase. Because the cool thing about finding that sweet zone is that when you do something that you know you're going to feel better after, or you're doing it with some level of enjoyment, you're going to be able to do it longer. Because remember that drug cabinet we talked about in our minds, in our brains, that happy hormone gets released and your nervous system feels safe. It feels like you're listening to it and it's going to work better. It ends up making your sweet zone look like this to this. Now there's a couple things that I'm going to just mention that you can do that helps increase that sweet spot of finding how hard, challenging you can work without flaring it up. And I mentioned one of those things is having that happy hormone release. There's ways you can do that. If you're going to go for a walk, if you love music, make a playlist of your favorite tunes. That helps. If you love listening to podcasts, listen to one of your favorite podcasts on a walk. If there's someone you enjoy chatting with and talking to, take them with you on the walk. Like, don't kidnap them, but ask them to join you for a walk. Even if it's just 5 minutes, say, hey, man, can you come with me for 5 minutes? Let's do this thing. It's good for both of you. Now, those are the kinds of things that increase the space of your sweet spot. Also included in that is walking in nature. I find walking downtown, bustling, busy streets, not really the best for me. Some people love that. But walking in nature is one of those things that is good. That will also help increase that sweet spot. All right. On the other side of that, things that will decrease your sweet spot, things that will make that sweet spot smaller, are feeling like you have to get the walk in because you've got to get your 2 minutes in, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And as much as I have talked about and will talk, depending on where you are in this lecture series, the positive aspects of stress, okay, there's also that idea that we have to do it, right? Feel how stress is a benefit to you. Now, another aspect that will make that sweet spot smaller is the catastrophizing, okay, or walking with someone you don't like, or in an environment you don't like, or if the news kind of agitates you, if you listen to that while you're walking, that might narrow that sweet spot as well. You want positive things to open up the sweet spot so that you can reach that area of tissue adaptation and be in it without creating that flare up, and B, get into that zone where yes, you can create that tissue adaptation. So that's finding your sweet spot. Please do use the Go Get Fit app. If you don't have it yet, message me. It is in the program. There is a code that you need. For the most part, I look at everybody's program once a week to see how you're doing, and I give you feedback there. That's a bonus way of getting a little bit more one-on-one support from me without having to use your one-on-one sessions, okay? So use that. It is an awesome tool that I've used with so many people, and they find it so beneficial because it not only tracks what you're doing, but it helps you track your mood and how much effort you're putting in. I will say that it does take a little bit of work. Here's the thing. Easiest thing to do with the Go Get Fit app. Every Sunday when you visit the bathroom, take your phone. I know it's not a recommended thing, but you know we all do it. Take your phone, build out your schedule for the week. Yes, you can cut and paste it. If your schedule is very regular, you can cut and paste previous week's schedule to do the following week or the upcoming week, okay? But you can tweak it. It literally takes you maybe 4 to 5 minutes to build your schedule out and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. That's it. You're not putting in every single exercise. You're putting in, I'm going walking. I'm going to do a breathing session. I'm going to drink 8 glasses of water. Not that you need to drink 8 glasses of water. I just want you to stay hydrated. But you can put little habits in there as well. All right? So find your sweet spot. Your goal right now after watching this video, pat yourself on the back first. Second, I want you to just go for a walk. And the biggest habit you're going to need to build is just getting ready to go for a walk. All right? Doesn't need to be long. Even if you start at 2 minutes, I need you to walk and come back, record it, you're good, all right? Could literally take you 5 minutes to do the entire process, but we need to start finding that sweet spot and working with that so that your nervous system goes, oh yeah, this is tissue adaptation. This is not tissue damage, because there is a difference, but your nervous system doesn't quite know how to do that yet, all right? That's your homework. I will see you in the next video.